Hello friends, I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? I hope it's fantastic. Everything here is great. Did you have a good weekend? I had a great weekend. It was a long weekend, but it was a good week. I mean, we had a lot to do. It wasn't long, as in long, but whatever. Got the bass finished, put back together. I still have not set the intonation and stuff. Pro tip, if you're, I don't know if I'm not a pro. Whatever. If you're changing strings, taking all your strings off, putting new strings on is not a problem. But if you take all the strings off and let it sit for a week, you need to let it like readjust before you try to do everything. Because over the course of 2 days, my neck slowly came back to where it was before. When I first put the strings on, the neck was almost dead flat, and I've slowly got that little bit of relief back. Just takes a few days of string tension. Anyway, today I got notification that the episode of the Create and Vent podcast was published on both YouTube and SoundCloud. I will put those links in the description down below. I was interviewed by Jeremy and by this guy. Look, Magnet's been back here for a while. This is Pocket 83, one of my long-running favorite YouTube personalities. And it's because of Pocket I got interviewed, because he's seen my channel, and we talk about it a little bit during the interview, that we have this kind of like mutual parasocial relationship where like he'll watch a couple of my videos and learn some stuff, and then have, you know, we'll have a little message back and forth, and then kind of go off into the background, and then he'll post a video and so we have this like back and forth. We have this like, we know a little bit about each other or whatever, but we're not, it's a weird thing. And he wanted to know more about me, and Jeremy, the host of the Create and Vent podcast, his co-host couldn't be there that day, and he asked Pocket to fill in. So that was really fun, because Pocket was a very enthusiastic co-host, because he had a whole bunch of really pertinent questions. And the one thing that came up a whole lot, well, so let me go back. I haven't been interviewed on a podcast for years, like many years. Long ago, as most of you are aware, I was trying to be like a professional game designer. Like, I worked really hard at that. And I used to get interviewed pretty frequently on various game design, gamer podcasts. And I even did some of that later on, as I was just transitioned to being a part of Portal Games and being a part of the publishing industry. I would still do podcasts every now and then. And then when this YouTube thing happened, I did a few podcasts over the course of the years of doing this. Diner Discussions with my friend Aaron was one of those. So every now and then, throughout the years, people have popped in and said, hey, can we talk to you about this project? You know, 8.5 years of doing Monday through Friday videos. And Jeremy thought that was really remarkable. But the thing that he really thought was remarkable was Pocket suggested to him, we should have this guy on. Here's his channel. He watched a few of my videos, and he decided, okay. And he called the number that's on all of my videos. There's a phone number at the end. There's a phone number in the description. He called it, and I didn't answer. And then I immediately listened to the voicemail, emailed him back and said, hey, sorry, I don't really answer the phone during the workday. And he was like, wait, that's a phone? And I'm like, well, yeah, like that's a phone number. And he thought that was just fascinating. So we talked a good bit about that. And so thinking back, I think that the Diner Discussion podcast, which was what, like 3 years ago when I did that podcast, was the last time I was kind of, quote, interviewed. That's a weird thing to say. Like, was I interviewed? Sure. I mean, they asked interviewee type questions, but it still feels weird to say that, right? Like, I'm not regularly a person that is, I'm usually questioning. I'm not usually being questioned. The questionee, is that a thing? I don't know. But it was a really fun discussion. I actually watched it. I don't watch these videos back very rarely. Sometimes I will kind of skirt a topic that I feel is not really appropriate for what I do here, and so I will watch those videos to make sure, did I say anything stupid? Because most of what I say on this show is not pre-thought out. And so I have watched a few, but I did watch the entire Dino Discussions because Jeremy had suggested there was some bloopers in there, and he wasn't sure if I wanted to leave those in. I said, dude, everything that I do is open. Like, go for it. You know, whatever. But it was a really, really fun time. I did it right here in the shed, so if you watch the YouTube version, it'll look very familiar. Maybe a slightly different angle. I think you get to see more of the tool wall. Yeah, it was really fun. And thank you to Pocket for putting it out there that I would be interested in being a guest, or that I would be an interesting guest, both. Because I really enjoy that stuff. I really enjoy talking and thinking about things, and especially when the people that I'm talking with are clever, and we get to have clever conversations. Those are some of my favorite ever. And this conversation was one of those. We talked for like an hour, and it was really, really engaging and fun, despite technical difficulties. There was a few technical difficulties in there, but yeah, go give it a watch, go give it a listen, whichever it is that you do. And here's to a good week. Got anything going on this week? My oldest, well, we'll talk about that tomorrow. Yeah, there's a lot going on this week. Isn't there always in my life, it seems like? What about yours? Let me know. Got any questions? Let me know that. Put it in the comments. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking it, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends and wonderful people. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Today's 1,000 plus little things happy, successful people do differently. We're looking at 10 habits you must quit to be happy. Number 2, quit blaming others and making excuses. Stop blaming others for what you have or don't have, or for what you feel or don't feel. When you blame others for what you're going through, you deny responsibility and perpetuate the problem. Stop giving your power away and start taking responsibility for your life. Blaming is just another sorry excuse, and making excuses changes nothing. You and only you are responsible for the next step you take. Oh man. God, I wish I could I wish there was I wish I could... No, I don't want to promote physical fun. I wish there was a button you could push that would let somebody see, you're blaming, you're making excuses. I know so many professional victims, and it's sad. Take charge. Do people wrong you? Yes. Do you need to let that impact you for days, weeks, months, years?